Okay. This is our new wind vane. So I'll describe it later. And you can see that Customs has already opened it up and had a bit of a look. Delivered from China to Malaysia. It took forever. The COVID-19 situation hit the Malaysian Airlines courier factory, so that they closed down for a number of weeks. So there's our first thing. We've got instructions. I'll show them later. And the user manual. Now, I asked for a 5-blade model. So we got 5 blades. They look fairly robust and flexible enough to work in the wind without breaking. So that's 5 of them. Right. So, really solid unit. Still to be assembled, of course. 3 live wires out of the back and a lovely design. So that's that. What comes with it is the relevant nuts and bolts to put the blades on and to connect to the pole that I'm having made, and the cone cover. And I've seen people break these if they are not careful, so putting that on later on when we're finished. These are supposed to be all stainless steel. From the list, and I'll show you that in the video later. This unfortunately is not stainless steel, it's metal. Now I don't know why they've made it in metal, but I'm having 2 made out of stainless steel. So, I think this is the inverter, or the wind controller. It's an MPPT 12 volt. And hopefully it'll be sufficient for what I want to do, rather than connect it directly to my current setup. I'll wire it through this, and there's one for each of the wind vanes, and of course I've got 2 of them. So that's what comes with it, and that's it for now. So these are the new poles. And the extensions for the angles, supports. This is a continuation of the previous video, and this is our 400 watt wind turbine. I'll show you the label later, and all the equipment that I've used to begin the setup of it on the bench. So we'll start with the wire. There's 3 lots of wire and I've soldered connectors to the end of it. Scissors, screwdriver, cutters, biscuit, soldering iron, something to stop it from burning. I've already set up some of the relay fuse box. I've been told it's a 10 amp, so we should be right with that one. And the actual wind controller, as I said before, it's an MPPT, and I'm going to wire it. The 3 wires going on the blue and go up to the 3 wires on the wind vane through the pole. I've ordered a stainless steel pole, and the man will come and set it up, and I'll do the rest of it. I've soldered the wiring on all joints are soldered, and then these connectors are pinched together, and hopefully that will go in, and I'll pinch that together as well. I've soldered those joints. The other 2, live and ground, negative and positive, and the 3 for the wind vane. So there's 2 controllers, 2 wind vanes. So that's that on the bench here. Here's a better example of how I've done the wiring on the MPPT wind controller. I soldered the copper wiring first before I put the fittings on, and then crimped them, and once they're plugged in they'll be taped up. So we see the second wind vane, and it's all set up ready. Now, because I'm not sure how this will work, I've done one end, and they'll go on. Once it's threaded, once this is threaded up through the centre of the stainless steel pole, it can be then connected there, and using the tape, taped off so it won't pull apart. The other end I've soldered, but I haven't put connectors on it, and the reason for that is if I have trouble putting this up through the fitting, then I can reverse it and go this way and have that at the bottom. So that's why I've just soldered it. I haven't put connectors on it as yet. Now, over there, underneath the seats and underneath all my rubbish, I've ran the wires through using a mouse, and down through the engine bay and across underneath the floor and in through here. It was quite difficult to thread the wires through the conduit, and in most areas it did go through the conduit, but some angles were a bit severe, so I just laid them out. I'll put a cover over later. For the 2 turbines, I've connected 2 red live cables to the red terminal, the live terminal, and 2 black earths to the earth terminal. Used a drill and created a hatch. I'll put a hatch cover on later. Now, I may have to put another hatch right here, and then be able to reach in and deal with the problem I'm having. And this is the hatch cover. These were 90 ringgit, which is about 30 Australian dollars. I suppose that's reasonable, but I would have liked them for nothing, but that doesn't happen these days. And of course it'll give us access later on to the job, as well as any maintenance that I need to do. So Matt and Farif,
yes,
from LMS, LANGKAWI Marine Services.
Yeah.
Fitting up my stainless steel poles with my wind vane attached to them, and they're just finalising some tightening of nuts and bolts, and then I'll do the electricals when I get time. So this is the pole, the top base fitted to the wind turbine itself. Temporary measure until they finish the angles and weld. We've drilled through the fiberglass and into the inside, and the young bloke's got his arm in the hole for that bracket. You can see the angle that it's been bent to so it fits. So here's the team from LANGKAWI Marine Services doing the work for me. You may think that the wiring and taping is an overkill, but there's a reason for it, and we've already realised that if you don't do it this way, the wires that were threaded up through the stainless steel post came adrift, and that caused us problems. We had to pull it all down again and do it again. What Matt's doing at the moment is he's putting in a bracket or a flan bracket underneath before he actually tightens the nuts up on it. And once he's tightened the nuts, not too much, then we'll lift it up again and put in some butyl tape. So the base brackets were measured, the angle got right, then welded up and then fitted up with butyl sealant. This is a temporary measure, tying it off like this. There's still a part to be ordered, but it's basically finished. Nice stainless steel part to hold it in place. So there's an example of the wind shear from the mast and the boom stopping that particular turbine from spinning, and yet that one has been spinning at a fair rate. So I got these wind turbines from China on Alibaba, and if you pause this you'll be able to write down and read what you need to know. The video was produced by myself. It's the end of another exciting video about wind turbine installation, December 2020. The stainless steel work was LANGKAWI Marine Services, and the phone number